Imagine a prayer, one so perfect, so powerful, that it holds 1,000 unique names for the divine. And this isn't just a hymn written about a goddess. No, this one was born from a story that literally connects heaven and earth.
Welcome! Today we're going to dive deep into the story behind one of the most revered texts out there, the Lalita Sahasranama. That's the 1,000 names of Goddess Lalita. And trust me, its origin story, it's every bit as powerful as the hymn itself. So it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? How does a sacred prayer like this even come into being? Is it something written down by mortals, a work of human genius? Or does it come from somewhere else, a source totally beyond our world? Well, that question is right at the heart of our story, and the answer? Well, it's quite a journey.
All right, so our story actually kicks off inside another, much larger ancient text called the Brahmanda Purana. Think of it as this massive collection of stories about cosmology and gods. And right in there, we find this incredible conversation where one simple, really heartfelt question ends up unlocking a huge divine secret.
So, let's meet our two main characters. On one side, you've got Sage Agastya. This guy is a legendary sage, known for his incredible wisdom and his deep desire to help people find a way out of all their worldly struggles. And on the other side, we have Lord Hayagreeva. He's an incarnation of Vishnu. You'll recognize him by the horse's head, and he is the divine authority on all sacred knowledge, the keeper of secrets, you could say.
So just try to picture the scene. Agastya has been listening, totally captivated, as Lord Hayagreeva tells him all about the glorious deeds of Goddess Lalita. I mean everything, her birth, her crowning, her epic battles. But then, as the story wraps up, Agastya gets this feeling. Like, wait a minute, something's missing. A really crucial piece of the puzzle hasn't been shared.
And this is where everything changes. Agastya just comes right out and asks about the 1,000 names. And his question is so humble, it's powerful. He's basically saying, did you forget, or are you holding back on purpose? Or maybe I'm just not worthy enough to hear them. You can just feel the tension in that moment, can't you? It's all about pure devotion.
And Hayagreeva's answer is just, wow. He confirms it. He says, yeah, I didn't tell you because this is a secret. It's not something you just casually share. But then he says, now that you've asked with such devotion, I will tell you. It was Agastya's pure-hearted question that proved he was ready. It was literally the key that unlocked this secret knowledge.
But hold on. Hayagreeva doesn't just launch into the list of names. Nope. To really get why this hymn is so special, he has to take Agastya and, all of us, way back to a place beyond time, to the celestial court of the goddess herself. This is where it all began.
So this is the really crucial part. This hymn wasn't written by any human, not a single sage or poet. Its creation was a completely divine event, ordered directly by Goddess Lalita. And that's why it's seen as so much more than just beautiful poetry. It's considered a direct line to divine energy.
Hayagreeva paints this picture of just unbelievable splendor. You have the Divine Mother, Lalita, sitting on her throne in her palace, and she's surrounded by everyone, all the gods, all the sages, all these amazing celestial beings. It's from this exact spot, the seat of absolute power, that the command is about to be given.
And then the goddess herself speaks, and listen to this. She doesn't ask, she orders them. She says, essentially, you know my secrets, you're devoted to me, so I am ordering you to create a new hymn about me. This wasn't just a nice idea, it was a straight-up divine command. And check out who she gives this order to. It's not just some random court poet. She gives it to the Vagdevis. These are the 8 goddesses of speech itself. I mean, who better to write the perfect hymn than the literal divine beings who control language? Their talent, their skill with words, it all comes directly from Goddess of Lalita's blessing.
And here are their names: Vasini, Kameshwarhi, Modhini, Vimala, Aruna, Jayani, Sarveshwari, and Kalini. So these 8 goddesses, they pooled all their divine talent together to create these 1,000 names. And when they were done, this absolutely perfect hymn was recited right there, in front of everyone in that celestial court.
Okay. So now that he's told this epic cosmic backstory, Hayagreeva brings the narrative back to the present, back to his conversation with Agastya. The context has been laid out, the stage is perfectly set. Now,
Finally, the secret can be revealed.
And Hayagreeva really drives this point home one more time. He explains why now is the right time. It's because of Agastya's combination of competence, his spiritual readiness, and his incredible devotion. He'd earned it. This wasn't just being given information, it was like receiving a sacred inheritance.
And then it happens. The Great Transmission. Lord Hayagreeva starts to recite the hymn, first the introduction, and then all 1,000 names exactly as the Vagdevis had composed them. The secret is finally passed down from the divine world to our world.
Okay, so what was it that Agastya actually heard? What makes this hymn so special? Well, it's not just that it came from a divine source. It's also famous for its absolutely mind-blowing structural perfection. The kind of perfection you could only get from, well, goddesses of speech.
1,000. Just think about that number for a second. 1,000 names, and each one describes a totally unique quality, a different facet of the Divine Mother. It's like this complete, 360-degree portrait of the divine, where not a single aspect is overlooked.
And beyond just where it came from, the technical side of this hymn is just brilliant. Get this, 1,000 names and not a single one is repeated, not once. And there are no filler words thrown in just to make the poetry work. No ands, alsos, or buts. Every single syllable has a purpose. That level of linguistic perfection, that's why many consider it the greatest hymn of its kind.
So, when you put it all together, you see that the Lalita Sahasranama is so much more than just a list of names. It's really a meditation, a whole journey. It starts with a command from the Divine Mother, gets composed by the goddesses of speech themselves, and finally, it's revealed to humanity all because one great sage was devoted enough to ask the right question at the right time.
And that really leaves us with something to think about, doesn't it? What kind of power is held inside a name when its source is truly divine? When you know that every single word traces its path all the way back to the heavens, what does that mean for the person who says it out loud? What kind of power do you think gets unlocked when you speak a name that was born in a celestial court?